Welcome to another episode of Menu Heroes. I'm Steven.
And this is Xander.
I have a dream, Steven. I said, have a dream, Steven! That little xenomorphs and little jokers with fedoras do the Carlton together at the Lincoln Memorial. I have a dream!
Wow, cultural appropriation much, Jordan?
I mean, I spent a good 3 hours making sure that I said that line correctly.
Oh my god. It was
I was
perfect.
proud of myself.
All right, we got a slate of news articles and one I just added last minute because it was just too crazy to pass up on. So we're gonna start off with naming your baby.
It's just chaos, Steven. Utter chaos.
Utter chaos. So we're gonna start off with naming your baby Xbox Game Pass.
What?
So the Xbox executive.
And yet,
Oh, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say, the article we found this suggested other names they don't want you to name your kids: Master Chief, Emergence Hole, Car from Forza, and Blinks.
Car from Forza
Anybody out there
got
remember
me.
Blinks?
I remember reading about Blinks.
I'm surprised anybody still remembers Blinks. I actually played the two games. Like, they're not great, but their mechanics of like time manipulation were kind of fun. I think could have been a really good game, but like it never caught on. Like, and that one you could tell they were trying to make that their Sonic. They were trying really hard for that to be their mascot, and it just never worked out.
Nope. So, this might be common sense, but don't name your child Game Pass.
And definitely don't name it Gamergate. Whatever you do.
That'd be terrible. But no,
Yeah.
he was actually joking. Although, in all seriousness, please don't name your child Game Pass. Sorry, just blanked for a minute there. But
Sorry.
so one of the stories they told was when Skyrim was revealed in 2011, there was a woman going into labor. And she stayed to watch the whole reveal trailer of Skyrim before going to the hospital to have her baby. and
Yeah.
and someone joked that they might have named their kid Devakin after the main character from Skyrim.
That's the last one, eh?
Yeah,
Hopkins.
Devakin. I think I'm saying that right. I might be.
I thought it was Dovahkiin is what I always thought it was, but I've
Oh.
heard a different
You might be
things,
right.
But,
I don't know. I can't pronounce anything. Someone actually did
Same.
name their kid that, though. And they got
Steven,
free Bethesda games for life.
oh my god. Oh, Steven, sweet summer's child, Steven. People name their kids all kinds of weird things, and a lot of times they will name their kids after from a character from a movie or show they just watched. Lest we forget, when Game of Thrones was all-time high, the number of little girls named Khaleesi and or Daenerys was like top of the charts of like popular girl names for a few years.
I mean, I don't know. I think
But
I'd like having a name like that rather than like Susan or Karen.
yeah, but have you seen the last season of Game of Thrones, Steven?
No.
That name does not end. The person with that name does not end well. Their story does not end well. I'm gonna say that right now.
Oof. What do they get killed by the Starbucks coffee cup?
Yeah.
So.
Oh man. Only.
So another cool little thing that they mentioned was Greenberg who is the what is he again? He is the Xbox executive. He
He's the
officiated
Xbox executive.
a Gears of War wedding, which is that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm just thinking like, was everyone dressed up as either a merc or a monster? Like if you're gonna like do a theme, I would want to make sure everybody would go with that theme. So like maybe the bride side all had all the family as underground monsters, and the groom side had like thing. That'd be fun.
All right, so we're gonna move on to our second story. So,
We busy boys today.
as you probably know, there was a Twitch protest, a day off Twitch, because Twitch allows for these things called hate raids, which is where people will employ tons of bot accounts to flood chat channels of marginalized streamers and streamers of color. And it's crappy. But a user went on Fox News to explain it. And I want to say that this is an affiliate of Fox News. It's not like, Fox News. So this is one of those local ones that actually...
there's no way Tucker Carlson's going to have a serious conversation with this person, or anybody for that matter.
Well, this is one of those Fox News channels that actually reports the news, because it's one of the local ones.
Okay, I was going to say locals usually are
yeah.
they try more than the official Fox News.
Yeah. Well, the official Fox News is actually listed as an entertainment channel, not a news channel, but that's not why we're here today. We are here today to talk about the hero who talked on Fox News about the Twitch protest, Buff Pup. A VTuber.
Again, we just got this news right now. Unfortunately, I haven't seen the clip or anything, but I definitely want to, because this sounds wonderful.
I will send the photo to you. Give me just a minute to get Facebook loaded, because you have to see this. And it's on the screen for the viewers at home. But my God. Jordan, no, we're going to get copyright struck.
We're going to get stroked by the copyright.
Oh my God. No, please don't say that. Oh my God.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
I
am just kidding about the copyright strike thing.
It's really late at night, guys. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll move on.
Even though again, it's not okay.
And I will send you the picture when Facebook finally loads, because I don't want to waste too much time.
Okay.
Although
we'll discuss more in part 2 coming up later. Okay.
All right. So. This next story was one that Jordan brought to my attention about a little indie game called My Friendly Neighborhood. Would you, do you want to talk about this one?
Yes, actually, and this time actually done my research for once. So, the most popular thing to do right now is take fun things from your childhood and make it dark, gritty, and scary. The most popular example of this is, of course, Five Nights at Freddy's. It took all the Chuck E. Cheese, icons and made them into horrifying monsters that just floods the YouTube channels with all kinds of reactions. And also another example is Bendy and the Ink Machine, another one of my personal favorites. Taking like the basic Fletcher Studios and Disney stuff from the 20s and making it literal horrifying demons.
Uh-huh.
And so right now we got John Szymanski doing his own, scary childhood nightmare stuff with My Friendly Neighborhood. And I checked this trailer, I did the official trailer out before seeing this article. or at least the article made me aware of it. I checked the trailer out. It looked fine. It looked like you're exploring through the behind the scenes set of a typical Sesame Street-esque puppet show studio that's being overrun by human-sized puppets. Could be both scary and also kind of fun. But as you do have a gun in this game, and you can defend yourself from these horrifying nightmares. The developer himself, John Szymanski, found something even more horrifying than human-sized puppets. And as I said, I said the article had like this wonderful GIF of what you could expect, or like what you expect from a bug that really emphasizes of how terrifying these puppets can be. And basically, it is this burnt-looking human-sized puppet named Norman. Goofy pink nose, striped red and blue striped shirt and everything. And basically, the main character only shoots at one of this Norman in a room, and also into several Normans, all chasing her after the POV character through the hallway. And let me tell you that the game isn't out yet, and it's already like in top 10 scariest moments in horror game history. I mean, and just the idea alone is brilliant. That you're in a room, you think you're dealing with just one monster, you hit it, and it all of a sudden becomes like dozens, if not hundreds, of little monsters coming right at you. That is like surprising that horror has an idea. And Mr. Szymanski here didn't intend that. This is a bug. He pinned on like a few different Normans in this area, and it's just the bug happened to be all in one occasion, only spawning right when one Norman, and thusly that's why all of a sudden there's an explosion of evil puppets coming out and chasing you. And John Szymanski has said in this article that he will implement this idea later on in the game or in a future installment, because to me it does feel in the ink machine where this will be coming out in parts, or at the very least, like if it does get it'll be a sequel right afterwards or what have you. To which I'm looking forward to what kind of puppet they will have that will explode into a million puppets that come after you. Again, I am loving the idea of this, and it just was pure happenstance, just a glitch in this game, just inspired, or hopefully to inspire future horror game developers to come up with stuff like this.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm excited by this.
So I'm about to send the picture from the last article to the group chat.
Oh, I hope. All right, yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. So that other group. Oh. Oh. I wasn't sure what to think when you mentioned a VTuber discussing with news with local Fox News affiliates, but oh, you're a national treasure already. Oh man, this is definitely getting a heart emoji. Yes, this is the Grunkle Stan meme. This is beautiful.
All right. So, now we're on to, I think, my story. So, we're all familiar with the NES and the Super Nintendo. Especially because, the Super Nintendo turned 30 recently.
Yeah. Pretty sure my older brother feels pretty old right now.
So, the man behind the design of the American NES, which in Japan is called the Famicom, was
Yep.
called Lance Barr.
Yeah, that is just his name, Lance Barr. Yeah.
Yeah, that's his name. Um,
Hmm.
he he made it look like it belonged next to a stereo system by making it look more like a VHS player than the Famicom. Um,
Yeah.
but the final design was actually a last minute change. When the NES was first shown to Americans, it was a wireless game console. But it got poor reception and was too expensive to make. So, in an hour, they redesigned it into what is now iconic.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The NES design still like it's clearly something from the 80s, but it feels like you could put this on like a spaceship and it would fit perfectly, and just it's just it's minimalist but also stylish in a way.
Yeah. He's also behind some of the key NES accessories, including the NES Zapper, which I have two of, and the NES
Nice.
Max. As
Now,
someone who
quick question.
who is obsessed with accessories, this man is a legend. What is your
Yes,
question?
he is, Steven. Yes, he is. My question was, did he have any involvement in the Power Glove?
I feel like they would have mentioned it, but let me Google it real quick.
Because you know the Power Glove. It's so
bad.
bad. So bad. Yeah, and also here it says that he did help the basic shape of the Wii system. So yeah, this guy has had a big hand in getting the basic Nintendo console designs and making them, you know, so good.
Yeah, he was involved in the nunchuck design as well. So
Nice.
the Power Glove actually was not designed by Nintendo. It was licensed by them, but it was designed out of house.
Ah, okay. All right. That makes more sense.
But like I said, as someone who's obsessed with accessories like that, this man is legendary. All right, so
Yeah.
you ready?
It still kind of blows my mind that they were doing like wireless controllers even back in 1981. Like that's crazy. They were doing that even back then.
Yeah. I mean, the NES did end up getting wireless controllers.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying like. Well, then again, maybe it's not that crazy because, as you said, there's been so many accessories. I'm sure the idea of wireless controls and being able to just like move around freely in your own living room as you play the games. I'm sure it's something they've always wanted to do, but as you said, like it would have made it so expensive,
Yeah.
and just having just wired controllers wired to the thing made it much cheaper, and
Yeah, interesting fact.
made it much more easier for families to get hold of.
The Famicom had wired controllers like hardwired into the console, to where like you couldn't remove them.
Yeah. I don't mind the Famicom design, but I do understand why they designed it for just a general American audience.
Yeah, it was it was weird because the second controller on the Famicom has a microphone in it. And in the original Zelda game, one of the enemies is defeated easily by making a noise into the microphone. But they didn't remove that in the American version. But there's no microphone for the NES.
Yeah.
There's actually this game where you have to do karaoke. There were some crazy Japanese
No,
games.
I mean, there are.
And that
Plenty of YouTube videos are all about the weird history of Famicom games out there that I would personally love if they were to try to bring them in the Switch sometime. Just not even having to like okay, maybe at least try to do some English translations, but like I would just be okay with just transferring them over to Switch and just see the reactions. Just letting new generations of gamers see how crazy some of these Famicom games were.
all right. So you want to talk about the civil rights thing?
Oh boy, would I!
All right, go ahead.
All right, so here we are, folks. Fortnite's trying to be educational, and in a way, I do kind of see the importance. I see the good intentions behind this. I honestly do, and I have seen some people bring up the fact that with southern state with like states with like the deep south states really hammering in, trying to remove much of the darker parts of our country's history, just removing anything about race, racism, and all like just stuff like that, trying to remove from history entirely from textbooks and anything, just not any mention of it at all. I understand the need to think outside the box and try and reach out to a large group of kids, explain to them, parts of our history that changed our culture and helped us push for it, help to spread a message of togetherness and unity and equality. I do understand that. However, putting the Martin Luther King speech and the memorial design in a section of a multi-platform online shooter game doesn't is not the first thing I'd go for. It's just not my first idea to reach out to the kids. And you could just look at all the various means that have been covered by this. Chris Franklin has his own his own Twitter where he has covered all the ridiculous shenanigans that have covered from just players coming in their Master Chief and their Rick Sanchez and their various Joker outfits, just doing dances by the Lincoln Memorial right when the while they were playing the Martin Luther King "I Have a Dream" speech on it, and the absurdity of it, of just the absolute absurdity of it, you know. But at the very least, no one was throwing tomatoes or doing any of the more obscene emotes. Oh wait, they were when it first launched because Epic Games just forgot that. Oh wait, these are teenagers that do a bunch of trolling on the internet and on the games. So of course they're going to raise a ruckus and just make a scene and make it a jerk of themselves and really defame the virtual Lincoln Memorial thing. So they cut most of the emotes that usual Fortnite players can do. But other than just only a couple dances and sitting poses and protest sign things, and but it's still that's certainly better than just letting players do whatever they want at the Lincoln Memorial. It's still been a debate and discussion online of whether there should be any emotes at all for this. I've had a long discussion, is was this even definitely there's people who thought this was a terrible idea to begin with, but just the very idea of this always was baffling. And granted, I'm somebody who hasn't experienced Fortnite not yet. I am completely in the dark for what I mean, I know the basic, some of the memes and some of the ideas of Fortnite. I know it's a multi-platform online shooter game, that occasionally will do concerts, and I think at one point they screened Christopher Nolan's Tenet movie, during the pandemic and everything. So obviously theaters weren't playing, but it just when I hear stuff like that, I'm like, how is this online 3D shooter game doing all this. And in like it's the whole thing of the metaverse concept thing that some games do, or some like VR chat games are doing. And by all means, Epic Games and like Fortnite is a massive company. It's a Fortnite is a massive franchise. They're trying to appeal to everyone and try and do everything, but I'm looking at this like this feels like stepping into something they have no idea how to do properly, is what I'm looking at this. And while I do enjoy the memes, I enjoy the images here and there, it was not that well thought. This whole thing was not well thought out. And it was made by people who just thought, we got to reach out to the kids about the history of our country and the history of Martin Luther King and its important speech. We should use video games, because that's always worked. And what's the most popular game right now? The Fortnite? Okay, we'll put the MLK speech in Fortnite and go from there. Ignoring the most obvious, bit of fact of, Martin Luther King was assassinated, and the whole concept of his speech or his likeness being in a game that encourages you to, shoot other people. Probably that doesn't sit well for a lot of people, Especially like again, Chris Franklin's article or Chris Franklin's like coverage on this on his Twitter brought up one of the loading screens to which that plays like either before or after you reach MLK, the Lincoln Memorial segment. And well, granted, some of these images are random. This isn't a guaranteed thing, but maybe when you're going to after the Lincoln Memorial to see MLK speech, maybe you shouldn't have a loading screen that says headshots do significant damage. Aim for the head. When you're talking to a guy, who was literally shot to death for his beliefs. Yeah. That's what I gotta say about this. Again, sorry we didn't cover this last week, but we'll cover it now. And I'm not saying that. Okay, there would have probably been something problematic if they did this to Animal Crossing, but at least with Animal Crossing, that game that's all about building communities, strengthening bonds with your neighbors and helping your community out. If that game did something with MLK, it probably would have been a little cringy, and also would have raised some questions about humans and human history of this friendly, cute little world thing. But if you had to ask me if I was put in a room and I had to say we got to put MLK in one of these Fortnite or Animal Crossing, I would pick Animal Crossing in a heartbeat, because that is a game I think better fits Martin Luther King's message of togetherness and all of us come together towards the common goal and equality and unity and everything. That fits that game much better than Fortnite ever has. Am I making any sense, even?
I'm sorry, what was that last bit you said? I heard the Animal Crossing fits it much better, and then I heard my name.
Okay, is there something wrong with my headphones thing? I was saying that if it was stuck in a room and somebody told me I had to put MLK in either Fortnite or Animal Crossing, I would put Animal Crossing, because that game fits the ideas of MLK much better than Fortnite ever could. It would still be cringy.
Yeah, I heard.
But it would be a better fit.
I heard all that. It just sounded like you asked me a question at the end.
I'm saying, do I make any sense, Steven? Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, it makes sense. Animal Crossing is a game that encourages a sense of community, and that's basically what MLK was about.
Yeah.
Well, that and stopping racism, because racism is bad. it kind of sucks that we've just reduced him to
Yeah, and
peaceful protester and I have a dream when he was so much more than that.
yeah, and we conveniently forget about like he would bring up not only like direct like not only the fact of like the harm that like that white culture and like in terms of like our society like how like our how would harm or automatically how we paint blacks as evil and whites as good. There was that mentality, but also would bring up like hey, history will not. And one of his favorite speech is, we will not, we will, history will not look down, will not look down not just on the hatred of our enemies, but the sons of our allies. Implying that, guys, if we need this to work, you got to do your part. You can't just sit by the guidelines and just like, oh no, what are we going to do? And unfortunately, a lot of people ignore that quote, ignore that part. I probably said the quote terribly, but
Your heart is in the right place, bud.
it's out there. Just yeah. And the basic message is allies. We got to do stuff and not
Yeah.
just just sit on the side. Yeah.
All right. So
Whew. Yeah, that was heavy.
you mentioned white culture, which feels like an appropriate segue
Okay, Nate.
because this has to be like the whitest people thing I've ever seen. Flamin' hot Mountain Dew.
If I may. Oh man. And is it terrible that I actually was considering ordering a pack of these?
No.
Because you can't just buy. Okay. You tell the story first, then I'll get to my thoughts on it.
All right. So Mountain Dew was like, you know what would be a good idea if we made Mountain Dew spicy. So they took the Flamin' Hot Cheeto idea. And by the way, Cheeto and Mountain Dew are owned by PepsiCo, so it's not that strange of a it's not like that much of a reach, but like they're like,
It,
let's make spicy soda, and so Mountain Dew Flamin' Hot is a thing, and not only is it a soda, there's some clothing line going along with it, and is it bad that
oh my God.
I actually kind of want this outfit? Oh, I forgot to change the
I mean,
picture.
look, I was feeling bad for considering buying a pack of these, because you can't buy them in a store. You got to order them on the Mountain Dew website. And I
Yeah.
was like, am I really going to spend money on this? And I thought it would be fun content if I were to film myself drinking this and giving my reaction, putting it up on the on the YouTube channel. So
Yeah, but I don't know if we could justify $12 for a 6 pack.
yeah, but also I do like Mountain Dew a lot. So
And we could save one
I
of the
might again, I
cans.
might okay for a collector's item thing,
Yeah.
probably yeah.
Okay, so there's
Nah,
actually more to the story that you didn't I don't think you saw.
okay, okay, go right ahead, go
So
ahead.
the author of this article told us that she had ordered it and she was going to report back on her findings. And the very next article is I accidentally inhaled Flamin' Hot Mountain Dew up my nose and I feel so alive.
Oh yeah, man, I am a spicy food connoisseur. I love spicy stuff.
Same.
I enjoy my Takis. I like putting not Tabasco, but well, Tabasco's good. But like, there's another like Talupa. There's a Talupa sauce on stuff, man. Um, and there's probably been times where like spicy powder has gone in my nose, and I've been like,
Oh god,
"Whoa,
it's
whoa,
terrible. I hate it.
where am I?" Yeah. Oh man. So I feel your pain, Amanda. Can I say her name? Amanda
Yeah,
Cruiser.
Amanda. So
Yeah. I feel your pain, Amanda. I've been there.
the the can was in a tiny flammable warning metal barrel, and it was in a little pocket in the casing, and she just couldn't get it out of the pocket. So she was like, "Oh, I'll take a spoon, and I'll use it to free the can." And the can broke open, and
Oh
it
no.
exploded towards her face.
Oh man.
And like,
Oh.
oh my god. And that's about it for that
Did you go
story.
to the hospital, Steven?
She did not have to go to the hospital, but like,
Oh, okay, good. Okay,
she
good. I was
equated
almost
it
worried there. I just
to getting Kanye Kayan. Oh my god, I can't remember how to say it.
cayenne pepper.
Yes, that
Cayenne, right?
Cayenne. Yes, I'm struggling over here.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay,
Hey, look at
give
me in the
me
past episodes.
give
I've
me
struggled with words too.
give
Don't
me
worry.
just a minute. My mom is calling.
Okay.
Feel free to talk
For those of
about
you
stuff
listening, it is
while I mute my mic.
as you wish, Steven. Anyway, guys, it is current is we are recording this currently at 9:55 p.m. We would have done this sooner, but things happen. Steve's got life stuff. I got life stuff. But we still want to do this episode. We want to make sure you, the viewers at home, got your daily dose of Menu Heroes magnificence. I wrote little notes here. Let's see. Oh, I think he's gonna love the next story.
All right, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Hey,
Xander left
it's okay.
his shoes down at my house. But it's whatever. So, you guys remember when that boat got stuck in the Suez Canal?
Oh boy, do I ever, Steven.
Huh, yeah.
I remember all the fanfics.
Oh my god. So, obviously a bunch of people made like memes about it.
Oh yeah.
Some people made little games about it. And that's what this story's about.
And some people have wrote like slash fic about it. I am
Oh
not
god,
even
no.
kidding.
Stop right there.
We won't. We won't.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
Okay.
I hate that. Oh god.
We'll keep this PG. I promise.
So, the idea of this is it's a drifting game where you play as a boat. You try your best not to hit anything and get stuck. There are obstacles like monsters and rocks. And what makes it different from other drifty games is the fact that the boat has weight to it. So it's slower and there's a lot more momentum. So you've got to take that into account when you're playing.
Say the name, Steven.
The name is whatever.
Oh come on, Steven. You gotta give more effort than that. You gotta tell the name.
What?
Da 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 da. Oh.
Oh my god. Alright, we're moving on to our next story, Jordan.
Oh come. Okay. Okay. I just want to say one. I'm sorry. I was trying to do Abbott Costello bit. It didn't work.
No, it's fine. I'm just being a butt.
I honestly love the name.
Yeah.
I do love the name. And yeah, I'm kind of a sucker for physics-based games. Like Surgeon Simulator, Goat Simulator, I Am Toast.
Yeah.
Games that really yeah, think about how physics work and how like the movement of things are. Those are addictive. And you again, the premises are usually very silly and goofy, and you would never think these games would be super popular, but they are.
Yeah. Well, there's a certain charm to them.
I love them for that. Oh yeah, yeah. It's again, it's simplistic, but you know the developers are putting as much love and humor and fun in those games that they possibly can.
So let's
I mean,
talk
you're not
about
playing a game called I Am Toast and expecting a grand, like 30-hour epic journey. It's like you're playing as a piece of toast, getting from one room to the other.
yeah. All right. So
Yeah.
let's talk about some Pokemon. So
Pokemon, gotta get 'em. It's you and me.
so there has been a theory, a headcanon going around, talking about a trainer named Lima,
I believe it's Ilium.
Ilium,
Ilima.
who is the Mele Mele Island Trail captain for Pokemon Sun and Moon. And the theory is that
Yeah.
they could be non-binary. So a lot of the evidence focuses on their appearance. They have bright pink hair, which is a unique style that blends several popular male and female hairstyles. The clothing choice also blurs gender lines as it pulls elements from both male and female outfits while not fitting perfectly as either. Another
Yeah.
point of another piece of evidence they use is that Elima's choice of Pokemon is Eevee, which, as many know, Eevee has like countless potential.
And we always want more.
Yes.
We will always want more evolutions.
And a lot of this, an important part about this, as a metaphor, is that Elima refuses to evolve Eevee without its consent. And the author points out that this could resonate, or it does resonate, with non-binary viewers who could read the moment as a metaphor for how society forces people into a binary gender even if they don't identify as such. Unfortunately, this is not, it's not like a confirmed thing, it's just a theory and a headcanon.
Yeah.
They're referred to exclusively by male pronouns in the anime. But then again, there are
Yeah.
non-binary people who use he, they, or she, they, or any number of different pronouns. And it's also interesting to
Yeah.
note that their rival is supposedly a textbook example of toxic masculinity. And so the important thing to take away from this is, even though it's not confirmed, it's a good thing that it's good for people to be able to see themselves in
Absolutely,
media.
yeah.
In fact, I actually had a conversation about this on a Discord for a Pokemon League I'm in, and let me see if I can scroll back up to it.
And speaking of Pokemon leagues, we got ourselves. Don't forget Crash City Con this October. Just Pokemon trading card game, the finals, or how are we just for the finals, or for the
Pokemon
whole
Card
game,
Championship Tournament, not championship. But yeah, Crash City Con this October.
Yes, and a little plug right there. You know, getting y'all reminded, getting y'all excited. You know, that's what's coming up.
Woo woo woo.
So be there or be square.
So let's see. So when I posted it, I said it's so beautiful that people are able to find connections that allow them to feel represented in media, especially something as big as Pokemon. And then the a fellow professor mentioned that one of the Pokemon Go leaders, Blanche or Blanc, I don't know how to say that, is typically referred to as they them. In the English versions of Pokemon Go, they refuse to use gendered pronouns. In other languages, they'll use feminine pronouns, but still,
Yeah, I think I know which one you're talking about.
English is the
Which
English one is basically the canon. So yeah, yeah. But yes, non-binary
yeah.
representation is great, and I hope it's something we see. I hope we see more representation in Pokemon in the future.
Oh yes.
An interesting fact, actually, about representation is that in Gen 5,
So from this,
Professor Juniper was originally going to be a male, but the creator was like, you know what? We should have a female professor. And so they redesigned her.
mhm.
All right, let's move on to our
And good for them
last
because
story.
not to throw shades on any of the professors, but Steven,
Oh,
I've won since the entire thing.
I'm sorry. You can.
I'm not mad. I'm just like I usually have my moment to say something, and I actually had a lot of thoughts on this.
Oh, I'm sorry. You go ahead.
So first of all, okay. To be fair, I'm not mad. I'm just like, wow, he's not gonna let me say anything, huh?
I know. I'm
Okay.
sorry. I feel bad about
All right.
that.
So okay. So first thought, Juniper, great design. No throwing no shades on any of the professors. You know, Professor Elm is kind of dear to my heart. I always think Elm never gets the respect he deserves. You know, but still, Juniper design wise phenomenal. Her and Sycamore got great designs. Secondly, they're funny enough. There was an episode back in the original Pokemon anime that was about like this one boy who had an Eevee, and his brothers all had their own Eevee, their own. They had their Eevees, and they evolved them in a certain way, and you can clearly tell by the brothers' hairstyles which one they evolved into, and they keep pestering and bullying the youngest brother with a regular Eevee to evolve it soon and be this, and the whole message of the story is no, I'm happy with my Eevee. I'm happy with who I am and who Eevee is. I don't want to force Eevee to be anything. And I remember as a kid, I was one of those that thought that like, well, you gotta evolve your Pokemon. That makes it gets better when it evolves. Why would you hesitate that? Because I always thought it was weird that Pikachu didn't want to evolve or anything. But I look it back right now and see maybe that wasn't intentional, but you can see it as kind of a matter of choice where a Pokemon truly does have free will and is choosing how they want to be, and some of them don't want to evolve. Some are okay with who they are, but also you could see what you were talking about earlier, Stephen, about like some this Pokemon like Eevee might be similar to many who are non-binary or many who are transitioning from whatever gender they were born with to whatever they feel that they are or okay, let me make sure I said that very clearly, because those transitioning, they feel or they feel this is the gender they are meant to be, and no one should force them to be anything. And I feel like while that I don't think that was an intentional message that the Pokemon Company planned on, it has something that has popped up several times throughout the history of Pokemon and the Pokemon anime of Pokemon, trying to choose to be who they are and not being forced to evolve or change depending on what the trainer or what anybody other than the trainer has told them to be. And in terms of like, well, and speaking of something that hasn't been confirmed, but a lot of the community has seen this character as one of their own. there is a character from a movie called The Haunting back in 1962. I believe her name is Clea. Like, it's never, well, the thing is, she is not outwardly affectionate with like the female protagonist, but she does like there's been plenty within the gay and lesbian community that has always seen her as a closeted, or at least one who is comfortable and okay with who her sexuality is, but the movie never flat says it. Just simply certain actions and wording and just certain methods, or just like just some of her styles are definitely, like not completely masculine, but coming off more domineering in a way. And so the thought of like, so I don't think it's important for a company or a creator to say this character is canon this or a character is canon that. When the community that identifies and resonates with a certain character could, essentially have that be, maybe not mascot, but definitely feel like that character represents them in some way, or at least, that they can identify with that character or see certain traits of themselves in that character, and therefore, at least in their head canon, see them as part of the LGBT plus community or what have you. So this is not a new thing in terms of, the non-binary community trying to reach out and see this character being one of them. And I don't think it's anything different or strange. It's like this has gone on for decades, and thankfully, I'd say a majority of our society is overall okay with the gay and lesbian community. Not completely, and there's certainly people who are, either being quiet about their prejudice, or some of them will just flat spew hatred at them for being who they are. But the number of people that are against gay and lesbian community is not as big as it once used to be, and hopefully we can say the same thing about the trans community and the non-binary community and the ace community and what have you. So by all means, always looking forward to the future. And now I'm done.
Um, Definitely a lot of good points made. Um,
Yeah.
and it gives me hope that we as a society are going to continue to advance, especially when it comes to accepting others.
Yes.
It's kind of a paradox when you think about it, because we don't want intolerance, but we have to be intolerant against intolerance. We can't just tolerate hate, because if we tolerate that, people will think it's okay, and then it'll just continue to grow and grow, and that's just something you want to put a stop to. And I know there's a whole debate of, well, who decides what's right? Who decides what's morally acceptable and whatnot? And, it's too complicated an issue to, discuss on this channel. But my general stance is, if it doesn't hurt anyone and it makes you happy, do it.
Yeah, and I could also say that certain matters are a bit complicated, but also like if your actions are hurting other people, you should be the one to stop.
Yeah.
And there's been clear examples of people hurting others for who they are, for just being who they are, for identifying as something, and living their lives, and only want to just live their lives and just be who they are. And plenty of people in this country alone, but not just in this country alone, but also around the world, have been harmed, harassed, thrown in jail, killed, just for being who they are. And that is something I will not tolerate.
No. I'd rather someone keep quiet about their prejudices than, act on them. Although, I'd like to know who has prejudices. Yeah, I can't say that word, so that I can avoid them.
Oh, yeah, it's that's the thing. It's like um, Will Smith kind of said it best, like, or well, I partially agree with what Will Smith said back in 2016. Saying that racism isn't getting worse; it's getting filmed.
Yeah,
I partially agree with that in terms of like we're seeing much more of it, but also I do feel like there is talking heads out there online and also in the media that is encouraging this hateful rhetoric.
yeah. It's with the way communication has opened up. With the internet and such,
Yeah,
it's it's definitely become more apparent, and it's become easier to start movements that are not good. But
no,
let's move on to a more joyful topic. Not to just brush this issue under the rug, but
yeah.
let's talk about
Let us
the Pokemon anime, which we were just talking about, but the new one.
another one, another one,
I'll let
another one,
I'll let you talk
another
about
one.
this because I have not read it.
Well, funny enough, I had just seen the trailer for this a moment ago, and yeah, it's Pokemon Evolution. It is big celebrate. It's going to be just like a 8 part, yeah, animated feature. Can't remember if it said it was going to be on Netflix or not, or if it's going to be like because I do remember back when Sun and Moon was coming. No, actually, it was when X and Y was coming out, and they were doing these Pokemon animated shorts on the official Pokemon YouTube channel, and it looked phenomenal. The animation was far better than the anime was doing at the time,
Uh-huh.
and they were doing little snippets here and there, the history of certain characters, like even one about like a ghost story in the Sinnoh region about the ghost girl that got trapped in this mansion or whatever. They did an animated feature about her, and I was impressed by that. I was like, wow, that's a deep cut, and it's for us like yeah, like us creepypasta, our Pokemon creepypasta fans, and good on you, Pokemon Company for that. But for this one, as said, Evolutions reintroduces characters like Leon, Lily, as they encounter a variety of legendary Pokemons like Eternius, Kyogre, Groudon, and again, I got a chance to see the trailer myself. I saw a lot of like Sword and Shield and Sun and Moon references here and there, but occasionally near the end, I did see like Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire stuff. I saw, I think, a bit of Ruby Sapphire Emerald stuff with well, that same thing with that, but also I could have it's like I think there will be some references here and there to other to other gens as well. But again, the trailer is mostly showing Sword and Shield and Sun and Moon stuff, which I'm not complaining. It's just like but it does make sense. That's the thing they're focusing on. Those are the newer games, and I'm sure there's plenty of stuff, plenty of little short stories they could do with that.
Yeah, it's from what I'm reading. It seems like it'll be going from region to region, and if it does that, it makes sense that there's 8 episodes because there's 8 regions. Core series regions.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Okay, so the article does say like it will be airing on the official Pokemon YouTube channel and on Pokemon
Nice.
TV on September 9th. Oh wow, it's only in a few days, so awesome. Steven, have I ever talked about like my how I love anthologies?
I don't know. You haven't.
Well, basically, like I love the concept of whether it be a movie that has like 5 short stories or a series where each episode does a completely new story on its own. But I think that whole concept allows writers and directors to do all kinds of fun, cool ideas, and we're seeing that with What If. We saw the trailers for the Star Wars Visions, which is going to be like all kinds of like big time animation studios doing their own weird Star Wars stories.
I
Doesn't
did
matter if they're
see
canon or
that.
not. They're just
That's very
that looks
cool.
awesome, Steve. It looks so good,
It
and
does.
I would be so happy if this evolution stuff is Pokemon's version of that, of just a bunch of different stories, all about different things happening. You know, whether they're canon or not, who cares? Just give me a fun, cool animated Pokemon story. I'll watch it.
I actually don't think it's canon.
I'm okay with that. You know, I don't really care.
But yeah, any last words?
Oh man, it's so late at night. I can't think of anything. I mean, I do love these, but we've been doing this for quite a while. So, um,
May I offer you a word?
um,
Kumquat.
ah! I was trying to go for like a Pee Wee big house adventure thing.
All right. Well,
But,
that
I don't think any of our audience is going to know that.
that is going to be it for today's episode. Thank you for tuning in, and as always, stay cool.
Free at last, free at last. Thank us, you so mighty, free at last.